Good morning, children. I hope you all are keeping well at your home, right? So if you're having any queries regarding your study materials, you are always free to send me your queries. I will try my best to solve out your queries. So let's start with our online lesson for today. So, in the previous lesson, we have learnt about the first part of the chapter, physical and chemical change. Now, what did we learn in the previous lesson? We have learned that there are different types of changes present, namely physical change and chemical change. And these two changes are quite different from each other. We also studied about the details of physical change and the process of crystallization in elaborate. Now today we will study about the elaborate form of chemical change. Now what is chemical change? A change leading to the production of a new substance is known as the chemical change, and these changes are irreversible. So in the physical change, what we have learned? We have learned that the changes in which no new substance is being formed and we can get back the original substance very easily. Whereas in this chemical change, it is being seen that the new substance is being formed and the original substance cannot be reverted back. Hence, these are irreversible changes. Now, let us move to certain examples. Firstly, in case of tarnishing of silver articles, what happens? The metallic silver, it reacts with hydrogen sulfide or sulfur present in the air and gets tarnished. Tarnished means what? You can see from the picture, the color is being changed. So we'll move on to the reaction. 4Ag. Ag is what? Ag is a metallic silver. 2H2S. H2S is hydrogen sulfide. And O2 is oxygen. So whenever these three, silver, hydrogen sulfide and oxygen, it reacts, it forms a new compound which is called Ag2S. Now what is this Ag2S? It is a silver sulfide which is being formed and in presence of water. So as a result of that, the polished silver which is being present is being converted into tarnished silver, and this cannot be reverted back to this polished silver again. Hence, this is a chemical change. Next example, burning of magnesium. So what happens in this case? Suppose we have taken a ribbon of magnesium and we are burning it. Right? So what will happen? At first, we will notice that there is a brilliant white color while burning. Right? And after the burning is being done, it is being seen that a powdery ash is left over after the complete burning process. So whenever this magnesium burns in air, it forms a magnesium oxide. So what is the reaction? 2Mg, that is magnesium, plus O2, that is oxygen. It forms 2MgO, that is magnesium oxide. Now, whenever this magnesium oxide, this ash, it is being dissolved in water, it forms a new substance. So, MgO, that is magnesium oxide, it dissolves in water, H2O, to form MgOH whole 2, that is magnesium hydroxide. So, this new substance is being formed. In this diagram also we will see a magnesium ribbon is taken. It is being burnt with a white dazzling flame and ultimately a powdery mass is being present, which is MgO. So whenever this MgO is being dissolved in water, it forms MgOH whole 2, that is magnesium hydroxide, forming in the chemical change, as because again we cannot convert or revert it back to the original substance. Another example if you consider, that is the baking soda and vinegar. Suppose we are taking baking soda and we are adding a teaspoon of vinegar into it. What will happen? Carbon dioxide is formed. So children, you can perform this experiment in your home also if you are having these two components, it is baking soda and vinegar. If you just perform, we will see, suppose this baking soda and vinegar is being taken together. What will we see? We will see that there is bubble which is being present. And as because the formation of bubble is being present, we can say that carbon dioxide is being evolved over here. So again, we'll move on to the reaction. Vinegar, which is also called acetic acid, plus baking soda. What is the chemical name? Sodium hydrogen carbonate. It forms a new compound which is called sodium acetate, and as we call bubbles are being seen. So carbon dioxide is evolved and water is being present. So whenever this carbon dioxide is being formed, if you can take this carbon dioxide, though this one you cannot perform generally in your home, this carbon dioxide, whenever it mixes with lime water, that is CaOH whole 2, If you can get the lime water, children, you can perform this one also. So this carbon dioxide, whenever it is mixed with this lime water, it forms another compound which is called calcium carbonate, CaCO3, and water is being also present. So this calcium carbonate is being formed, which provides a milky appearance. So we can say that whenever this carbon dioxide is being mixed with lime water, it turns the lime water milky. So this is again a chemical change, as because this change is irreversible and we cannot get back the original substance. Next, we will move on to the changes which occurs during a chemical change. So there are different types of changes which are being noted. First change is change in color. So this one we have already discussed, that is tarnishing of silver particles. So here you can see again the silver spoon is present, which is polished silver, and it has been tarnished, converted into tarnished silver. How? In presence of H2S, that is hydrogen sulfide, and oxygen. Next change is change in odor. Odor means smell, right? So whenever the chemical reaction takes place at this food, which is you can see in this diagram, this food get spoiled and smells really bad. Suppose you are left over with some of the apples or any other fruits. After some days, you will notice that there is a bad smell which is being seen. So we can easily say that the chemical reaction has taken place, and obviously that smelly bad food, we cannot get it back to the original form. Hence it is a chemical reaction or chemical change. Next is change in temperature. Now suppose whenever the lime, you will see this one, suppose this is a lime, CaO, whenever it is mixed with water, H2O, it forms a new substance, that is CaOH2. That is calcium hydroxide. So whenever these two are being mixed, heat is being evolved, and this type of reactions are referred to as exothermic reactions. So this is again a chemical change, and that means we cannot get back the original substance. Next is release of gas. So what happens during this one? During aerobic cellular respiration in human body, energy molecules, it combines with inhaled oxygen. Inhaled oxygen means the oxygen we are taking inside, and releases energy needed by the cells. So what happens as a result of that? It releases carbon dioxide gas and water. So the glucose which is being present, C6H12O6 glucose, it reacts with oxygen 6O2 and it releases 6CO2, that is carbon dioxide, water, H2O and energy. So the release of gases are being present. So these gases also cannot be reverted back to the original substance. Next, another example we will take into consideration specifically, that is rusting of iron. Now, all of you must have seen the process of rusting, right? You can see that this type of changes are being seen in several ways, right? So what is that? Whenever we bring a newly bought iron or silver or copper articles, it appears very shiny, right? But as the time continues, what we can see, the iron articles, the silver or copper articles, whatever you may consider, they becomes dull in nature and a definite layer is being present on their surface, right? So in case of rusting of iron, what happens? The iron, it reacts with oxygen present in the air and moisture and develop rust. Now what is this rust? Rust is hydrated iron oxide. So what is the reaction? 4Fe, that is iron, plus 3O2, that is oxygen, plus 2H2O, that is water. This 3 reacts and it forms the rust, that is 2Fe2O3.H2O. Right, and thereby we can see this type of changes. So wherever this rusting of iron is being seen, this cannot be reverted back to the original polished iron articles or the silver articles which are being present. So as a result of that, we need to prevent this process of rusting. Now the question is how? We will see to that. So what are the methods for prevention of rusting of iron? Firstly, it can be prevented by applying a coat of paint, grease or oil on the article regularly. So we can do it. Why we should do it? Because whenever this coat is being done on the iron articles, it does not allow the article to come in contact with the oxygen in the air and the moisture. That means we cannot see that this oxygen and water is being coming in contact with the articles. And as a result of that, the rusting is easily prevented. Next is the process of galvanization. What happens in this one? It is a process of depositing a thin layer of zinc metal on the iron articles, right? And whenever it is being done, it is done by dipping the iron sheets into molten zinc and then allowing them to cool. So it is dipped in the iron sheets, they are being dipped in molten zinc and they are being cooled. And this galvanized sheet, whenever is being present, they are used for making buckets, dustbins and roofs. So it can easily prevent the rusting of iron. Again, the reason remains the same. That means it cannot come in contact with the oxygen in air as well as the moisture. The third process is electroplating. What happens in this case? It is a process of depositing a thin layer of metal such as chromium on iron articles by using electricity. And where it is used, the cycle handles and gas stoves have a shiny silver colored coating. All of you must have noticed, right? So they have a layer of chromium on them. And as a result of this chromium present, again the moisture and air cannot come in contact with the iron articles. The fourth process is alloying. Alloying refers to a mixture. Now what is that? An alloy. Alloy is what? It is a mixture of two or more kind of metals. So whenever two or more metals are being mixed together, they are forming a specific substance which is called alloy. So stainless steel, you must have noticed that there are several places where it is written on the, specifically on the utensils, it is written stainless steel. Now what is that? It is an alloy made of iron, nickel and chromium. So this stainless steel, it does not rust in moist air because the prevention coating is being present. To make stainless steel, what is being done? Iron is melted and to this nickel and chromium are added in right amount. So there is a proportionate amount of this to nickel and chromium. The mixture is then cooled to form the alloy and hereby the stainless steel is being formed. So the cooking utensils, scissors, surgical instruments, these are all made up of stainless steel. And as a result of that, they do not rust away. So I hope this process of chemical change, the different types of changes which are being noted, these are all being clear to you all. Please let me know if you're having any doubts from this chapter. I will definitely try my best to answer your queries. Thank you so much.